What is good, YouTube? Quinway basketball analysis here to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks winning the championship, like Amanda Nunes would say. In Milwaukee in game six, everybody was yelling Bucks in six, Bucks in six, Bucks in six, and they got it done in six. It was a beautiful thing to see going to the NBA Finals as I did was a dream to be in the NBA Finals, and it was good to see an NBA Finals, especially one that was very fun and exciting. As game one and two, it seemed like the Suns had it all going right, and the Bucks just couldn't find a way to stop them or compete with them. And then the Bucks pull off four straight W's, including winning in Phoenix to take down the Suns in six. And Giannis, you have to give this man credit. He played his life out. Not his heart, not his soul, his life. He could have died on that court yesterday just because he wanted to win that championship so bad. Getting blocks, gobbling up rebounds, finishing at the rim, even made a three, made his free throws. He did everything possible to win that championship in Milwaukee for these people that believed in him, cheered on him even when he was a role player, even as he became the most improved player, the MVP that he became, even when he dropped the four straight against Kawhi Leonard and the Toronto Raptors, came back and embarrassed themselves against the Miami Heat. They still push with him. They still roll with him. And they knew that one day he can possibly bring them a championship. And you have to give credit to John Horst, who made moves. He let let Malcolm Brogdon leave, and people gave him a lot of criticism. He tried the Eric Bledsoe thing, didn't work as well as they thought it would, even though they became the number one seed. He knew that it was one more piece that he needed to add with Chris Middleton and Giannis, and it was Drew Holiday, who was absolutely fantastic in the biggest games in this whole run, having huge games when they needed him to, and he worth all the money that they gave him just because he helped them win a championship in over 50 years. It's so difficult, but he was a huge part of it with his penetration, his aggressiveness, his outside shooting mattered in the big games, and he was able to step up and do it in the big games. And Chris Middleton, a guy that I vouched for years ago before he even became an all-star, he became an all-star two times in a row, was not one this year or an all-NBA player, but he showed up, had a big 40-point game when they needed it, averaged 24 points per game, got his rebounds, got his assists, and really hit some difficult shots in the third and fourth quarter. Had some series and some games where he disappeared, but also had some big games that really helped this run come to fruition with a championship. Also, you gotta give credit to Mike Budenholzer. He was always the guy that everybody wanted to be fired. Everybody thought that he should be fired if the Bucks failed to capture the ship, but they ended up doing it. He made adjustments, he made changes, he changed the style of play, he changed up his lineups and his rotation throughout the playoffs, but most particularly against the Phoenix Suns, and that's what you needed to do. Whatever you was doing wasn't working, it was failing, and it was making you lose. He switched up so much of what they did and how they flowed and how they used Giannis, and it actually worked. You have to make a change. You have to make adjustments. You have to make changes, even if it's on the fly. And Budenholzer played them the minutes. He gave them the opportunity, and he also showed a lot of growth and improvement as a coach. And he was on the hot seat, like I said, this year, and he delivered a championship to Milwaukee. You got to give credit to the Suns. They tried everything. They came out hot. They came out confident. They let the Bucks know it wasn't going to be easy. It was a close game till the end. Could have go either way the last three games, but the Bucks wanted it more. They really wanted this championship. That's why they made all the plays necessary to make this championship dream come true. The Drew Holiday steals, the Giannis block, the finishing, coming at the Suns in transition, getting a lot of steals and loose balls. They fought, they clawed, and did everything they could in their power. This championship was by will. You look at the fact that they won four straight, but that don't tell the whole story. The Bucks made the plays that you have to make if you want to be the last one standing. And they did that on both ends of the court throughout this entire series. And you can even make a case that they should have won in five if Giannis was fully healthy. They probably don't even lose that game because he really wasn't himself and they really wasn't playing right. But they fixed it and they got it done. And I got a lot of love for them and what they did for Milwaukee. But at the same time, the Suns, they tried their hardest. I feel like they didn't quit. I feel like they didn't give up. I just feel like they couldn't make enough shots. They just couldn't get that stretch. They just couldn't make that run because the Bucks just kept coming at them. And the Bucks are not even known as a great half court team, but they was able to make it work. Giannis was hitting fadeaways. He was hitting everything. And when he's coming at you and coming at you, getting the layups, getting the dunks, causing all this confusion and chaos on the offensive end, and they still hung in there and they still had a chance to win it. It just shows you how good this Phoenix Suns team really is. It's not a fluke that they got to the finals. It wasn't a fluke that they won the first two. They are a dangerous team when they're locked in, and they gave the Bucks a challenge the last four games. They really did give them a challenge, and they really did make the Bucks earn it. They had to take and will themselves to these W's, and it all does come down to who is going to be able to make the difference in the series, and it was the Bucks. It was the Bucks. I'm proud of this team. I love what they've been about. I picked them basically to win every series besides the finals, and it was only because of Giannis' health. He didn't know. We didn't know if he was going to play Game One. We didn't even know if he was going to play in the series coming into Game One. And he was a game time decision then, but he played well even in Game One, and he just played astronomically amazing for the rest of the series. This is the guy that y'all paid $220 million to. This is the guy that y'all feel can be the leader of y'all franchise, and he showed that in Game 6 that he's a problem. He's absolutely unstoppable, especially if he's making his free throws, because he's going to throw his body at you. He's going to try to run through you. He's going to try to jump over you. And if he's making his free throws, you have no answer. You have none, because either you're going to have to foul him or wrap him up. And he's strong enough to fight through, and he's long enough to get past you. He's quick enough to burst through them angles and really make things tough and difficult. But he even made the difficult shots, fadeaways, jump shots. Everything was just going for Giannis. And this is the type of game that you need from him. This is why you pay him the $220 million, to have a two-way effort / impact on the game. And he was able to live up to it, and he was able to deliver on his promise that he made in 2014 when he signed some extensions that gave him hundreds and $200 of millions of dollars later, that he can deliver a ring to Milwaukee. And his promise was granted and done in Milwaukee with these people, and he hasn't even been asleep because he's spending time with that trophy and that Finals MVP in the people. And you gotta have love for Giannis. He's a cool, good dude. It's a blessing to have a guy like that in the NBA and be iconic for not only his country, but for a team that needed hope, a team that needed guidance, and a team that really needed a person that wanted to be there, stay there, and help them achieve the ultimate goal. And Giannis was able to do that with his teammates. Connaughton stepped up in this series. Brook Lopez scored and contributed to the best of his ability and made some necessary buckets. You can look at the fact that a lot of their guys really came in. Even Bobby Portis hitting threes, hitting push shots and floaters just to keep the Suns away enough for them to close out the game. Their role players stepped up. Their defense was great. Their offense was flowing and going, and they was finishing in transition and just obliterating the Phoenix Suns from everywhere on the court throughout the entire game, throughout this entire series, especially since it went back to Milwaukee, and they are your 2021 champs. And there's no secrets, there's nothing crazy. It's reality, and you have to give them credit for that. And it's good to see the Bucks do it. You know, it's going to be crazy for the parade on Thursday. The fans get to see Giannis, who hasn't got no sleep again, and they're going to be ready again. All the fans have fun. Do y'all thing, embrace this moment, own this moment, love this moment, because y'all will forever be NBA champions, and y'all always did deserve this, because y'all could have lost, y'all could have gave up, y'all could have quit, but no matter what circumstance the Bucks was, they rose to the occasion and got the job done, and they will forever be remembered as NBA champions, and that's all what it's about, and they got the job done. Gwen Wade, Basketball Analysis signing out. See y'all later.